The latest developments in the coronavirus crisis, and Weekend Sunrise can reveal the government's coronavirus app will be launched today.
Tomorrow night marks 6 weeks since New Yorkers were told to put their lives on pause, stay home and stop the spread.
To the COVID-19 crisis, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has spoken with provincial and territorial leaders about plans for the eventual reopening of the economy. The two levels of government have agreed to develop guidelines to balance national coordination with flexibility for provinces to move at their own pace. Here's our chief political correspondent, David Aiken.
All right, well, they pretty much will start with people on the beach, so get to a big groups, and then we'll come out to that.
The latest developments in the coronavirus crisis, and Weekend Sunrise can reveal the government's coronavirus app will be launched today. An outbreak of COVID-19 in a Sydney aged care home claims a sixth life. Passengers aboard a Virgin flight to Brisbane are being traced after a passenger tests positive.
150 Australians are this morning on their way home from South America aboard a government Mercy flight. Britain becomes the 5th country to pass an incredible 20,000 deaths. And the World Health Organization warns against immunity passports, saying COVID-19 immunity cannot be guaranteed.
This morning, the number of global infections is more than 2.8 million. The number of deaths passed 200,000. That was just a few hours ago. It's already approaching 202,000.
In Australia, there have been 6,695 cases of COVID-19, with nearly 5,400 people having recovered. The national death toll now stands at 81.
And we have special coverage this morning with our team of reporters. Let's go first to Jennifer Beshwadi, who is in Canberra. Morning, Jen. Now, this controversial virus tracing app will be launched today, we understand.
Yeah, that's right. Good morning, guys. This is one of the federal government's 3 goals to easing those social restrictions, and that is more testing, greater trace capacity and a rapid response to outbreaks. The smartphone app that I can reveal will be launched nationally today runs on Bluetooth. It stores the name and number of all the people you come in contact with for 15 minutes or more if they also have the app installed. Now, currently, if you test positive, you have to give authorities the details of everyone you come in contact with anyway. This app just digitises that. So if you test positive, that information will go directly to state health authorities and they'll contact the people immediately. And likewise, if you've come in contact with someone that's tested positive, then expect a phone call. Now, of course, privacy concerns have been raised, including by some within the coalition. Barnaby Joyce says he doesn't want to be tracked by the government, but the Prime Minister insists that's not the case. There is no tracking involved. The data that the app collects is encrypted. It's stored in a secret database that only can be accessed by the health authorities once you test positive. No Commonwealth agency can access that data, and I'm told that the best safeguards are in place to protect that database from hacking. Now, it's entirely voluntary. The government wants everyone as possible to download it. I believe it will be available today, possibly tomorrow. The at least 40% of the population have to download it for it to work at its best. But the government stressed that the sooner and the quicker they can track these outbreaks, then the quicker they'll be able to remove some of these social restrictions.
Tomorrow night marks 6 weeks since New Yorkers were told to put their lives on pause, stay home and stop the spread. And today, Governor Cuomo says those efforts, those disruptions in your lives, they're paying off very clearly. He says New York State has seen 100,000 fewer serious infections than scientific models predicted. A lot of lives saved. But the governor warns the state has to ramp up testing before the economy reopens. And that is why he is signing an executive order. It allows independent pharmacies to do their own diagnostic testing. He says that means 5,000 additional testing locations. And our team is standing by to walk you through every bit of this right now. We start with News 4's Adam Harding. He's live in the Bronx with the state's new testing plan. A lot to uncover here, Adam. What do you know?
Yeah, and Adam, the big story today is all about testing. We know in the last 24 hours, the state saw 47,000 new tests, by far the biggest number. But it's pharmacies like the one behind us here that could soon see the state increase rapid testing in a matter of days.
Mayor de Blasio early Saturday touring a new community testing site.
Today is Saturday.
and it is a beautiful Saturday here in Albany.
Just before the governor announced new plans to rapidly increase COVID-19 testing.
We're going to authorize all the independent pharmacists in the state to be collection sites for testing.
To the COVID-19 crisis, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has spoken with provincial and territorial leaders about plans for the eventual reopening of the economy. The two levels of government have agreed to develop guidelines to balance national coordination with flexibility for provinces to move at their own pace. Here's our chief political correspondent, David Aiken.
At his daily press conference Saturday, the Prime Minister said he'll leave it to the premiers to set the timeline for any easing of COVID-19 restrictions.
The provinces will have a lead role in determining how their economies will reopen.
What we are doing. And some are already moving. On Thursday, Saskatchewan Premier Scott Moe announced his province's 5-phase plan to reopen. He was followed Friday by New Brunswick's Blaine Higgs. Their plans will, for example, allow golf courses to open this spring. Provincial parks will also reopen. But in all cases, social distancing rules will remain in effect, as will restrictions on visiting seniors' homes. Next week, Quebec Premier François Legault and Ontario Premier Doug Ford will outline their plans.
There's no one that wants to open up the economy more than I do and everyone else, but we're going to do it responsibly. We're going to do it through the guidance of our Chief Medical Officer of Health.
Unlike in the United States, where President Donald Trump has clashed with state governors, the premiers and the Prime Minister have parked their partisan hats at the door.
Canadians can, take great comfort in the fact that all of our orders of government have been working together in a very strong and aligned way.
Provinces will be expected to demonstrate that before any reopening, there will be enough testing capacity and enough resources to trace the source of any new infections. Another emerging issue, making sure workers returning to the job have enough protective gear like shields and masks.
I don't think we should be talking about reopening any parts of the economy if we do not have a strong plan to protect people working there and prevent the spread of COVID-19.
All right, well, they pretty much start with people on the beach, so get to a big groups, and then we'll come out to that. And there you go, like that. Great Saturday afternoon down here in Newport Beach here, Rick and Court. You're looking at the area of the Newport Peninsula down here towards the harbor, and it's right where they call the wedge. But the wedge area is shut down. They've got that blocked off. You can see right there that lifeguard truck keeping everybody away from that end of the beach. But as we pan to the left here, you see plenty of folks down here on the beach soaking in the sun. And I'm going to tell you, the next thing flying off the shelves is going to be sunburn medication, because there's a lot of red folks down here on the beach for this first real sunny day, as these folks came out to get away from that heat in the inland. But as we come up and continue down the peninsula here, heading back towards Balboa Pier and then back towards Huntington Beach, it was all loaded this morning when we came down here, but right now, you can see a large fog bank has taken out most of the beaches north of here, all the way through Huntington Beach and up into Long Beach. So that area there is completely covered. But these folks came down here in large herds on Huntington Beach, Newport Beach, but the only ones closed down in Orange County was Laguna and Seal Beach. But right now, you can see the folks are still down here trying to get the last bit of relief from the heat here. It's gone through the Southland. So that's the latest. Let me send it back down to you. Mix minus. And Simon Death Sky 5, we've done our hit. What's your pleasure? All right, heading home, heading home. All right, Dave, I'm coming up your way. I'll go behind you, and I'll come around behind you. You can head up north. Okay. I know, they're killing me, man. I turned it off, so they tried to wrap me. It's too bad. Okay. You know, I don't know about up like Redondo Beach in that area, but it does look like it. I know it's covered all the way to Long Beach. And John Wayne Tower 225, we're all finished down here. I'd like to depart out to the west. 90, thanks.